Amid foreign leaders, Indian business leaders, and AI gurus, we spotted actor turned VC Vivek Oberoi roaming the promenade at Davos. I've been seeing you at various pavilions. What brings you to the World Economic Forum?
Well, I thought it was important to come in here since we're expanding on a global scale, both as a fund, as the number of organizations that I'm very privileged to be a part of, and also proudly as an Indian, trying to build bridges between global capital, creating value in India. There's been a bunch of companies that have been building in India across different sectors. A few have managed to take public quite successfully. But the constant growth is what we're striving for. And that's why I'm here.
So tell us about this new avatar from Bollywood to the world of VC. How did it happen, and what fund do you run?
Well, I'm speaking about it just now, but I've been at it for a really long time. It's been a process of learning and really a lot of hard work. We run a fund called Greenback, which is based out of DIFC. It's regulated through DIFC. We've done really well. Amardeep, my partner, in fact, is here. We're now almost at $4 billion AUM, of which 2.8 billion is committed to India and Indian companies. And the rest of it is global. So we have a deep exposure in terms of startups that are creating really amazing positive social impact, startups that are empowering marginal farmers, in India, trying to get them. In fact, this year we've achieved about 32% growth in net income to farmer by using technology and removing the middleman. Then we've got a company that we've invested in that we'll take public soon that's saving lives on the roads, first responders.
Which one is this?
It's called Ready Assist. It's a first responder company. We have 12,000 boots on the ground. We've trained traditional mechanics into being EV mechanics. It's really creating tremendous impact on the ground. So it's things like that. We're investing into air-to-water generation, tech that will, add a lot to sustainable development goals, but also empower at the grassroots level. So the idea is to create micro waterpreneurs, right? Self-help groups of women who can now use this water in any kind of remote area where there is no regular water piped, but also to even commercialize it by selling cold water or, heating that water and making chai or coffee or, boiling Maggie, I guess. But how do you use tech to touch the lowest common denominator? And, how do you improve the lives of millions that need improving in India?
Right. So you're here to, seek more funds for your fund. I mean, look at potential investors. Are you looking at potential startups to invest in? Because we also saw you at an IT company's launch, Tech Mahindra. So what's the scope of your activity at Davos?
Well, look, AI is the future. I think AI dovetails into everything. Tech Mahindra is one of the important players in terms of AI. I was here also at a Web3 conference because I believe that blockchain goes beyond just business use cases. To give you an example, if you're able to bring in blockchain in terms of smart contracts for our farmers and multiply them in hundreds and millions of contracts on an annual basis, but auto-generated, then the transparency is so strong, and since they're unmutable, there's no rescinding that contract, and you're protecting the small guy by virtue of tech. So I think all of this dovetails together, right? I think eventually all businesses that we do are going to be somewhere, collaboratively intertwined with AI and Web3. So that's why the Web3 conference here, to speak about different use cases. We're also setting up a Web3 fund separately with a bunch of crazy people like me and a few companies that we run. So I've invested in a company that does anti-drone, drone highways, drone porting. We've invested in a company that does gyrocopters for potentially urban and intercity transport, but also border security. Things like that. So it's interesting to look at these companies and try and create India to be the innovation hub rather than the services hub.
Right. And do you still, do movies? Is this something that you do on the side, or is this the main thing and that has become your side hustle?
Well, movies is my passion. I have a bunch of businesses that I run, part of close to 30 organizations now. B&W Developments is my full-time gig. We're running a luxury development company in the UAE with my partner Ankur, and there we've achieved quite a lot. We've got 400 people in the family, and we're almost at $7 billion AUM there, AUD actually, assets under development. So again, there's been tremendous growth, raising institutional capital, adhering to fiscal policies and principles, but also looking at how we can innovate and create, exponential growth in every sector. How do you create that X factor everywhere you go? So that's where I think strategy, vision, those things come into play.
Great. On that note, thank you very much, Vivek, for talking to us.
Much.
Thank you.